Today's topic: what causes baldness in males? Welcome to International Academy Germanische Heilkunde by Dr.Hamer, MD. My name is John Holledauer. I have been appointed by GHK Academy to translate and represent Dr. Hamer's original seminar program into English. Most often, it is men who sometimes become suddenly bald, even in a very young age, but it can also affect women. The official theories of a possible cause are numerous, but the theories are mostly limited to genetic, hereditary, or nutritional deficiency. Well, let's put the theories aside, because thanks to Dr. Hamer, we know the cause of the hair loss, and therefore we know how causal therapy can happen. You will understand by the end of this video how you can, even after decades of baldness, hair can grow back again. Yes, it's true. The hair belongs to the outer skin, squamous epithelium, or ectoderm. This means that the associated conflict can only be a separation conflict associated on the head. The scalp belongs to the organ inside, meaning the man or woman does not want to be separated. Highly acute, isolative, and caught on the wrong foot. And the conflict is active. As long as the conflict is not resolved, no matter how many nutrients or miracle pills you swallow, you will lose your hairs, because they are not related to the cause, which is the active separation conflict. A person will get into the healing phase when the conflict can be resolved, and this is noticed within a few minutes, by the scalp developing an itchy rash which lasts for as long as the healing phase lasts, or until the drug is triggered again and thus be active again with the conflict. If one can avoid the drug or resolve the conflict, the hair will grow back, even after decades of baldness. Case study. A young man showed me a photo of himself with an almost half-bald head, but by now he had a full head of hair again. His story? One day his wife noticed that his hair was getting thinner and thinner, and when his hair was wet, there was hardly any hairs to see. Yet he had very thick hair for most of his life. They both knew Germanische Heilkunde in great detail, and they thought about what the separation conflict could have been, but they found nothing. Nothing in their life had changed, no separation conflict. But they knew something had to have happened, because without a cause there is no effect. And there is no exceptions to natural laws. His hair receded almost to the back of his head and have lasted only a few months. One morning he went to the bedroom where his wife has slept since the birth of the now 2.5-year-old son. This man had moved into his own bedroom after the birth of the child, because the marital bed turned into a playground of diapers and baby gear. He snuggled up to his slumbering wife, and she stroked his head. After a few minutes, the son woke up, saw his father in his territory, and started to chase his father out of his territory with loud screeches. For a boy, his mother is part of his territory, which he defends from any intruder, even his father. Only a few minutes later, while brushing his teeth, he noticed a rash on his forehead, and his almost bald head itched. At this moment he realized what has caused him this bald hair. Cuddling with his wife and being stroked on the head was conflict resolution for him. The itch on the head lasted for several hours. Now they both knew what the separation was, so he came again the following day and cuddled up to his wife. Even worse, at night the little boy had wet the bed and also peed in his pants several times during the day, something that has not happened for a while. So the son had suffered a territorial marking conflict because of the father in his territory. Thus it was not yet possible to move the son into his own territory, his child's room, without his mother. This would have made him chronically ill. So, how do you solve this situation if you know Germanische Heilkunde? When you don't want to make your son chronically ill, but you don't want to be bald yourself either. So, they made an appointment with each other. Every morning after his wife has prepared breakfast, she would cuddle him at the breakfast table for a few minutes and stroke his head. This was also okay for the little son, as long as his father did not invade his territory, his bed. And after 2 days, the little boy's urge to urinate was under control again. The remarkable thing about this case study is that they has been sleeping in separate bedrooms since the child was born. The husband did not start balding right after the actual separation, the moment he moved into another bedroom 2.5 years ago, but after only a long time. Why? There must be a reason for this. Answer: because his wife was hormonal male during pregnancy and more than 2 years of breastfeeding. He simply felt her as a man, and therefore he had no desire for her. Therefore the separation was acceptable for him. However, as soon as his wife weaned and consequently her hormonal status changed back to female, he again perceived her as a woman. Then he felt the need for physical closeness to his wife again. Now he perceived himself as separated from his wife, and now the conflict was active, and he lost almost all his hairs within a few months. By cuddling every day at breakfast, he could satisfy his desire. He had an itchy rash on his head, but he was happy about it, because it confirmed that the conflict was resolved and his hairs was growing again. This is a causal therapy in the sense of germanische Heilkunde. But where was the conflict? The SBS in this case. Highly acute traumatic, isolative, and caught on the wrong foot? This SBS has not happened in this case. Since this original separation conflict, he had occasional phases where his hairs thinned, and then again phases where his head itched. As he told me, he enjoyed his single life because he enjoyed the search for the perfect woman so much. His conflict was active whenever he was single, and he started losing hair. But this never lasted long, as he found women who fulfilled his need for closeness. Thus he got into the healing phase and his hairs grew again. With his current wife, this need for closeness was permanently satisfied, and he no longer had problems with thin hairs or with the rash on his forehead. Only after weaning, when his wife became female again, he again felt her as a woman, and only then did he need her closeness again. But with that, he was on the separation track. That's also a perfect example of how subtle tracks can be. Consciously, you don't even notice that you suddenly perceive the woman completely differently after she gets pregnant or she weans. The same is true, of course, for the woman who starts taking the birth control pill. Suddenly the man has a hormonal male woman in bed, a woman he can no longer perceive as a woman, but as a man. And this has an effect on his libido. You can watch my video on the subject of hormonal contraception. Dr.Hamer has often warned us strongly against the pill. You can find the link on the text here below the video. For baldness in men, women play an active role, because women like to caress the man on the head, which is why separation is often associated on the head. Men typically do not caress women on the head, but on other parts of their body. That is why women usually perceive separations from their partner not on the head, but on the breast. The squamous epithelium of the milk duct in the breast is then affected, and in conventional medicine it is quickly diagnosed as breast cancer. Dear friends, make germanische Heilkunde your hobby and study as long as you are healthy. For everyone the day will come when you will have to decide, or someone will decide for you. And everything that happens then depends on whether you have understand germanische Heilkunde. Only if you know why you have a symptom, will you know what you have to do to get healthy again. See you in the following video. Goodbye.
Germanische Heilkunde is considered by those who have understood its underlying principles to be the most significant discovery in known human history. While conventional medicine is based on more than 5,000 hypotheses, Germanische Heilkunde can be proven at any time to be the only medicine that is scientifically verifiable. With Germanische Heilkunde, for the first time in recorded human history, there is a scientifically verifiable medicine for each patient case. More than 30 medical universities have already confirmed this in the past. Still, Dr. Hamer's discoveries have been suppressed and denigrated for over 40 years. Take your health into your own hands and learn Germanische Heilkunde while you are still healthy. For this purpose, the GHK International Academy offers you an extensive program of seminar tutorials from the basics through the organ level to the psychoses. This seminar program will change your relationship with your body and your health once and for all. You will find the direct link to the homepage of the GHK International Academy below the video.